Happy Sunday. Okay, I'm feeling fiery today. I actually have some direction for this, but this week I've just been really hating men, and that's every day for me, I'm not gonna lie. But overall, like this week, I feel like I've been getting more pissed off. And I try to detach when I see what's going on in the news, because it's like so ridiculous what's actually going on, but it's a really deep issue. So, it's Sunday. I'm gonna be like, this is Sunday service. This is Sunday service for women, for the gays, for the people of color, for women that are of color, for the queer of color. We are here to worship ourselves, and we are here to get invigorated about who we are. So one thing I want to throw out before I really get going into my little spiel of today is I don't know if there's going to be outside sound from other people in the house. So I apologize in advance. I also have both of my cats in my room, and normally I keep them out because they can sometimes be disturbing, although I have a sweet guy right here who's hanging out like a peaceful little prince. But I got another little guy that's getting up, getting roused. I don't know what he's gonna do. These are the only men in my life I'm willing to keep around me 24/7, okay? Because they're not toxic, okay? The toxic they bring into my life is normal cat behavior. So I cannot fault them for maybe their negative traits that in a man I could never accept. But let me get comfy. You yourself get comfy. I really want to sit here today. I want to lay it all out there. I'm not here to be nice. I'm not here to be likable. I'm here to piss people off, okay? I'm here to piss people off so that they know their value in the world. I'm also here to piss off the people who need to reassess how they operate in the world, okay? And if those kinds of people don't really want to take that much accountability and be that self-aware like you and I are, then that's on them, and they're going to continue to struggle in the world. But we need to recognize what they're doing that's abusive to the rest of society, the people that are harmful to society, that are not bettering society, and we need to be really, really aware of how they're manipulating us and how they are hurting us and the growth of humanity by only looking out for them in really selfish ways that are forcing us to struggle, right? And we need to dethrone them from their power. Now, who is often behind a lot of that behavior? I'm waiting. Men, white men specifically, but men in general tend to love to get together and have pissing contests on who can have the most, who can be the biggest, who can feel the most powerful. But I think that a normal person, a healthy person, someone who wants to be loving, and I think that should be baseline, right? Isn't that homeostasis? Wouldn't that be baseline? What humans should want is for us all to survive, so that we're not all having to like fight for our lives. Like, that's just being in fight or flight. That's just stressing out our nervous systems, when we definitely have plenty of resources to make sure everyone can thrive. But we have created systems that have created this sense of control, and they are essentially caste systems. And really what it is like the impoverished, the people that are just barely getting by, and then there's the middle class, and there's the upper middle class, and then there's crazy rich. So we have the ability to actually even the playing field But we've created these systems of financial power, really, that are limiting people's ability to be successful and thrive like normal in life, okay? Because like we don't need to be primal and animalistic and only be looking out for ourselves. We are humans, we're community-based creatures. We are people that crave connection with one another, and ultimately the people that are destroying this the most are the people that are wishing they had it, because the only sense of community they have is with other people who are only looking out for themselves as well, okay? Imagine how lonely of a fucking place that is to be, when you and I are better off knowing that we have the community of our friends, our family, the people that we genuinely choose to have in our life, the people that we genuinely want to have in our life. These people are only in each other's lives because it's fucking contracted, because they have to survive in a way that's like really disgusting, inhumane, and it's cruel to themselves, and now it's trickling into our lives. So our lives get ruined because of people like Trump and Epstein and Diddy and all these other motherfuckers who are interconnected, and all these other politicians and celebrities that are interconnected, okay? And we have to suffer for it. So a lot of this is based on systems created by man. And foundationally, women and queer folk and people of color are the people that heal society. We are people who offer nurturing, we offer community, because our gifts are things that are shareable to the people that we love the most, okay? Creatives are those who make art to share, music, visuals, things to read. There are so many ways we can contribute art into this world in your own way. And that is what heals, okay? So we are inherently hyper creative people. Here goes a cat. I'm sorry, I'm in my spiel. I can't ignore the fact that he's gonna do his own thing. And if he gets really disruptive, like, we can see what we can do here, but he's really just a guy who wants attention, okay? And he's coming over here, and he does want to be seen. Let me tell you, this guy, this is a man who wants to be seen. Look at that. That's a star right there. But let me tell you, we create so much art and output, and the reason why our society and our culture and our politics are rapidly changing in the opposite way is because those people who are still trying to hold on to these really extreme and ignorant values and harmful values, those are the people that feel so threatened by people like us, you and me, creatives, people who have actually something good to contribute to society, people that want to see other people uplifted, people that want to see other people successful, because I'd rather not compete. The only person I'm here to compete with is myself. So why would I be here to spend my time in life trying to compete with you and your success, when we could just be uplifting each other and simultaneously benefiting from that abundance? It's so simple to me. So destroy the way man is trying to overturn our progress by revolutionizing against this rhetoric that they're trying to bring back into existence. We don't need this. I don't have time, and neither do you. So we can sit around here and we can continue our day-to-day and looking at the news, being disappointed in it, and we can keep on continuing in our monotonous routines, or we can revolt. We can stop showing up. Can you imagine how much change would happen just from even one day of women completely striking? That could even just be nationally in the US. That alone would make a huge impact. So imagine how much sway the US's politics has and how other countries respond to what we have going on. They show up for our mobilizing as well, because humans showing up together, when we actually commit to it, there is massive number turnouts. So think about how much power you have as an individual, and don't forget that. And I know that I harp on that, but I'm going to just keep drilling it in because I'm really tired of going about my day to day knowing that literally the country is falling apart and that the world is falling apart. And I know that you know it too, and I know that you're deeply upset about that. And I know if you're seeing this, that it is meant for you to see that because you yourself are someone who already believes that. You yourself are upset, and maybe you're upset with the world as a whole, or maybe you see things in your personal life that you'd like to see change as well. What are the ways that man is negatively impacting your personal life as a person? What about man's rules have negatively impacted you and made your life less fulfilled than it could be? Because at the end of the day, those are just things that have been created in our system, but we don't ultimately have to live by that. We have so much choice, we have so much power. And we have been so bogged down and defeated by the rules of man that we have not believed that we can actually get that on our own when we absolutely can. Especially us as women. We are so fucking powerful. We are life givers. We are creators of the world. And you think that man is actually more powerful than us? The way they're responding to how society is progressing is a huge signal in the lack of involvement that they've actually had. And look at how much we can do. We can be creators, we can be mothers, we can be employees, we can be so many things. And a lot of men can only stick to one fucking thing that they're good at. And usually it's fucking people over. So if you see men in your life abusing people around you, and it doesn't even have to be that blatant, okay? Pay real good attention to the small ways you see men fucking people over in your life. You don't need to stand for it, and you need to make the people around you that you love know that they don't need to stand for it either. Because that's the only reason that these men have gotten to these kind of power. These men have gotten to this kind of power, okay? Is because we've just sat back to a degree and we've just kind of let it happen. We could scare them more. I'm not here to pussyfoot around and tread lightly to make them feel comfortable, because all men have done is made everybody else feel uncomfortable. So how about we make them aware of the fact that being an asshole isn't that effective and doesn't really feel good. I'm not here to be gentle to you. I'm not here to please you. And for men to just think that that is their inherent birthright, to just be pleased by the world around them, and anything less is going to make them fucking explode and ruin everybody else's life, because that's the only way they know how to cope. I'm not going to sit for that. Because if you think that we're all going to respond well to you just being a douchebag all the time, then I can give you the same exact treatment. And so let's make it even, buddy. I'll get on your fucking level. Because all this time you've been saying how you like how these politicians are not beating around the bush and they just tell it like it is. Well, I'll tell you how it is. I don't need to be gentle to you. And I want you as a woman, as a queer person, as a person of color, to realize you don't need to be gentle with their little hearts anymore. Because clearly they don't care about being sensitive or being genuine to other people. So I don't need to give sympathy to those who don't show human kindness and just overall understanding that we all experience things in life. These men are so narcissistic, so selfish, and so caught in their own way that, like, I understand some people want to be gentle to them to try to get them to come around to the other side, but if they only respond to other men and actually only listen to the thoughts and ideas of other men, then I'll show you my masculine side. I don't need to be a soft woman in your life, because clearly you've gotten so much of that because you feel this need to beat down the power of women and queer people and people of color. I don't get that. Like, If you have so much privilege in life, be happy with that. You don't need to tear down everyone around you. Like, you are so weak, you are so small, you have a weird, warped sense of ego, and it's yucky, and you need to go. And I'm here to make you uncomfortable enough to fucking help you exit yourself out of here. I do not need to be surrounded by humans like that. That is not human. That is subhuman. That is not even good enough to be an alien. Genuinely, you are just an unevolved form of human, and you don't need to speak your mind. You don't need to share your thoughts. Keep them to yourself. Hide away from society. You don't need to vote. Just don't even bother. I am here to give a different type of Sunday service because so many men are running the services in America, and that has created this ultra conservative Christian neo weird shit that is just like not even spiritual anymore. These people have no fucking faith. So let a woman speak for once. Let a woman speak and give a different side of spirituality. And that's coming back to yourself as a woman, as a person of color, as a queer person. These are the groups that need to be speaking on Sundays. You need to be speaking on Sundays. This doesn't need to be religious. This is just about connecting with your community. Band together. Show up with one another. Show up in numbers. A few leads to many. Three's a party. So, it doesn't matter how many of you there are. Just connecting, being part of the revolution is so important. Realizing that you have power in all of this feeling of being disempowered right now. I feel it. I get it. I am terrified. I look at what's happening in Texas this week, and they're trying to redistrict, and now Democrats have to flee their own state so they don't have to vote for something that's going to completely ruin how voting goes. That's really concerning. But the only reason these laws are trying to get passed right now is because these people feel so fucking weak because they know they don't have the fucking numbers. Keep that in your mind. Republicans and men, specifically men, are creating absurd laws because they know they don't have the numbers. Keep that in your mind. Do not be afraid. We outnumber them. Our love and our enrage is what's going to, not our enrage. I think that's actually a way you could say that. You know what? I'm just being a little bit of a bimbo, but that's okay. I'm not that dumb. Our love and rage combined is going to completely overthrow the bullshit that's going on. So stay passionate, stay empowered, know your confidence, know your value. You do not need to suffer anymore. We do not need to suffer anymore under this invisible power that man has created. It's not real. We have the power. It is the time. America and the world is at its breaking point of shaking the ground and disempowering this illusion of a system. We have the ability to be one. We have the ability to be confident. We have the ability to be resilient. We have the ability to overcome. And I want humans to remember that. I want you to feel. I want you to feel your feelings. I encourage you to feel everything within you to help motivate you and fuel you. You have a place in the revolution. That does not mean that it has to be scary. There may be moments, we're seeing scary moments, but that is being created by the enemy. The scariness is being created by the evil people that are in power. And it's our light and it's our excitement for more that's going to turn this scariness into something beautiful one day. And I can promise you that if we all just connect with one another, if we all connect with our communities, we have the ability to overcome. So pursue your passion. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. Men suck. We need to shake shit up. Get uncomfortable, make them uncomfortable. You don't need to please anymore. Walk into your truth, walk into who you're supposed to be, and find your place in this fight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I appreciate you bearing with me. I'm so grateful these dudes hung out so well. Oh my god, it could have been bad. It could have been bad. You have no idea. Okay? They could have made some crazy noises. So let's just be so grateful that this Sunday service went pretty smoothly. But I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Exciting things are coming up for myself, and I hope some are coming up for you as well. Sorry, I've been tripping up on my words today. I'm all over the place, but I am so grateful I cut out the time to do this, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.